You know what's the hardest thing to do in life? It's not the work, the hustle, the sacrifices. The hardest part is realizing one simple truth. You don't even know what your dream life looks like, huh? How do you expect to get to a place when you don't know where it is? Think about it. Imagine standing in front of a massive city, ready to explore, but with no map, no destination in mind. How do you navigate the streets if you don't even know where you want to go? The reality is most people live their lives this way. They wake up, go through their routines, but there's no clear direction, no solid vision of where they want to be. And that is the biggest problem. You cannot get to your dream life if you don't know what your dream life even is. Sounds basic, right? But most people ignore this truth. They wander through life, hoping that things will fall into place, waiting for some magical moment when everything clicks. But the truth is, it doesn't work like that. Life is not some random lottery where you just happen to win. I'm telling you this from experience. I designed my dream life years ago, long before anyone knew who I was, long before I had any resources, any fame, any recognition. I had nothing but my vision and a belief that if I worked hard enough with the right plan, I could make that vision come to life. It was more than just some dream that I hoped would come true. It was a detailed, specific plan. A map, When I started, I had no idea how to get there, but I knew one thing. If I didn't plan, if I didn't map out exactly how I wanted my life to unfold, I would never get there. And this is where most people fail. They don't plan. They don't take the time to sit down and figure out what they want, how they're going to get it, and how much effort it's going to take. They don't realize that without that kind of plan, without that clarity, they're simply wandering, and that's the difference between success and failure. And, let me be clear. A dream life without a plan is just a fantasy. A wish that never becomes reality. That's why you need to ask yourself, do you know what your dream life is? If you don't, start there. The moment you realize that you don't have a map, that's the moment you start becoming serious about your future. You see, I wasn't born into a life of luxury. I didn't come from wealth, and I didn't have any special advantages that gave me an edge over others. But what I did have was a vision, and more importantly, a plan. A plan so precise, so detailed, that there was no doubt in my mind where I was headed. Here's the thing. You cannot just hope that your dream life will fall into your lap. You have to work for it. And you have to work in a very specific way. I didn't wait for opportunities to come knocking on my door. I created those opportunities. But none of that could have happened without knowing exactly what I wanted. That's the starting point. If you want to be successful, you need to ask yourself, what is your dream life? Can you see it clearly? Can you visualize it with the same level of detail that you would plan a trip? Can you see yourself in that life, living it every day? What does it look like? What does it feel like? You need to go beyond vague ideas and get into the specifics. Because here's the truth: if you don't have clarity about where you're going, your chances of reaching that destination are almost zero. Think about the biggest achievements in your life so far. What did they require? Hard work, yes, but also clarity. You knew exactly what you wanted to achieve, and that made it easier to make decisions, to take action, to stay on course. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I want to be successful. I knew exactly what that success looked like. I knew what I wanted, and I understood how to get there. But the first step was always clarity. I had to create my dream life in my mind before I could even begin working toward it. If I had left it to chance, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. The same goes for you. If you want to become strong, you need a specific plan. You can't just go to the gym and hope to get stronger by accident. You need to know how to eat, how to train, and what kind of mindset you need to develop for you to become rich. You must understand the mechanics of money. You need to understand exactly how you're going to earn it. Is it through a business, investments? The choices are endless, but they all require a plan, a concrete plan. And this doesn't just apply to physical strength or financial success. It's about strength of mind, strength of spirit. To truly succeed, you must be able to see your goal, understand the work required, and commit to it with everything you've got. Look, you might be sitting there thinking, I don't know what my dream life is. I don't know where I want to go. That's okay. But don't let that stop you. This is your wake-up call. You need to start figuring it out now, before it's too late. Don't wait for life to hand you a blueprint. Create it. Draw it out for yourself, step by step, and start moving toward it. Because the reality is, no one is going to do it for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. But if you take control, if you plan it, if you work for it, your dream life can become a reality. You just have to know exactly what that life looks like, and then go after it with everything you've got. Now that we've established that you need to know where you're going, let's talk about the next step, planning. I cannot stress this enough. Without a plan, you're not going anywhere. A vague dream or a hopeful thought won't get you to your destination. A dream without a structured path is nothing more than a wish that gets lost in the chaos of life. You see, when I began my journey, I knew that success wasn't going to be handed to me. I didn't wait for opportunities to fall from the sky. I designed my life with precision, down to the smallest detail. Every single step, every decision, every action I took was a deliberate one, in line with the plan I had set in place. A concise, detailed plan was the foundation that turned my dream into reality. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture yourself standing in front of a large canvas. This canvas is your future. Now, imagine you have no idea what picture to paint. What are you going to put on it? You can't create a masterpiece without knowing exactly what you want to create. Similarly, you can't achieve your goals without knowing precisely what it is that you want and exactly how to get it. When I was in the early stages of designing my dream life, I didn't just sit back and hope things would work out. I didn't wait for life to surprise me. I understood that life is a series of decisions, actions, and moments that lead to a final result. And without a plan, those decisions, actions, and moments will just drift without direction. That's why it's crucial that you write down every aspect of your plan. The bigger your goal, the more important it is to break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. You need to know exactly how you're going to achieve each step. How are you going to build your career? What steps will you take to improve your financial situation? What habits will you develop to improve your health and mindset? These aren't questions that you can leave unanswered. They are the core of your plan. When I say a detailed plan, I mean one that includes everything. Your day-to-day actions, the people you need to surround yourself with, the skills you need to develop, the resources you'll require, all of it. I'd ask myself tough questions. Where do I want to be in a year? What will I need to get there? What's the plan for the next 5 years, 10 years? Without answering those questions, I would have had no direction. I would have been running in circles, putting in effort without making any meaningful progress. But with a clear, concise plan, I could move forward every single day, knowing that each step I took was aligned with the future I was building. This isn't a theory. This is real life. If you want to succeed, you need to put in the work. You need to create a roadmap that allows you to move toward your goal step by step. But the catch is, your plan has to be flexible enough to adjust as you encounter obstacles. Because, let's be honest, the road won't always be smooth. It's not going to be a straight line from where you are to where you want to be. There will be setbacks, failures, unexpected turns, but that's where the true power of your plan comes into play. A solid plan doesn't crumble at the first sign of difficulty. It adapts. It evolves. It allows you to keep pushing forward no matter what life throws your way. If you want to become successful, strong, or wealthy, you need a clear understanding of how to get there. You need to be prepared for every step of the journey. It's not enough to just have a general idea of success. You must understand the mechanics, the systems, the strategies that will get you there. Whether it's learning how to manage money, developing your physical fitness, or honing your business skills, the key to your success is in the details. When I say you need a plan, I don't mean just a simple list of goals. I mean a roadmap that goes down to the very specifics of what you need to do when you need to do it, and how you're going to do it. It's a strategy that takes into account your strengths and weaknesses, your opportunities, and your potential obstacles. To become strong, you need to eat in a certain way and train in a certain way. To become wealthy, you must understand money, how to earn it, save it, and grow it. Whether you want to be a public figure like me, or you prefer a life of quiet power, like a man of the shadows, you need a plan. The only difference between those two paths is the specific plan you create for yourself. But even with a perfect plan, the journey won't be easy. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. You'll face obstacles that feel insurmountable. You'll encounter failures that seem like the end of the road. But trust me when I say this. As long as you stay aligned with your plan, you'll find a way. Your plan is your weapon against doubt, against failure, against fear. The power of a detailed plan lies in the clarity it gives you. When you know exactly what steps you need to take, you're no longer guessing. You don't have to hope that things will work out here. You're actively making them work. Each day, you wake up with a sense of purpose, with a clear direction that keeps you moving forward. It's this sense of clarity that fuels success. It's this sense of control that helps you navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life. Without this kind of plan, you'll always be at the mercy of the circumstances around you. But with a clear, well-thought-out plan, you become the one in control. You make the decisions, you take the actions, and you create the life you've always dreamed of. And that, my friend, is the ultimate power. So now it's your turn. What does your plan look like? What is your roadmap to success? If you don't have one, start building it today. The road to your dream life begins with a detailed, deliberate plan. And once you have that, there's nothing stopping you. Having a plan is crucial. It gives you the roadmap. It provides clarity. But here's the reality that most people fail to understand. A plan alone won't get you anywhere. It's not enough to just have a vision and a well-laid-out path to follow. What truly makes the difference is the ability to stick with it. The ability to be consistent, to show up every day regardless of the circumstances. You see, it's easy to get excited about something at first. We all have moments where we feel motivated, where the fire inside us is burning bright and we're ready to conquer the world. But that motivation is fleeting. It fades. The excitement dies down. Life gets hard. The distractions come in, and that's why most people fall off the path. Consistency, that's the key. Consistency is what turns dreams into reality. It's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't. Success is never a one-time event. It's the result of 1,000 small actions taken consistently, day in and day out, no matter how tough things get. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're not consistent in executing it, it means nothing. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by trying hard once or twice. They got there by showing up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it, even when they wanted to quit. It's the little consistent actions that build up over time and compound into massive success. For me, consistency became my weapon. The days I didn't feel like working, I still worked. The days I didn't feel like putting in the effort, I still pushed myself. It wasn't always glamorous. It wasn't always exciting. But I kept moving forward because I knew one thing. Success doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen from one big, flashy effort. It happens from small, steady steps taken every single day. The thing is, most people want instant results. They want to see the payoff immediately. But that's not how life works. That's not how success works. The results come after the consistent effort, after the hard work, after the struggle, after the sacrifice. It's about being disciplined, staying focused, and refusing to quit when things get tough. Now, I want to be clear about something. Consistency isn't just about doing something every day. It's about doing it with purpose. It's about being intentional with every action you take. Every time you work towards your goal, you have to ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to my vision? And if it is, then keep going. If it's not, then change your approach and adjust. But whatever you do, don't stop. For instance, if you want to get stronger, just going to the gym once a week won't cut it. You have to be consistent in your training. Every single day you should be eating right, working out, recovering, and improving. And it's not about doing extreme things every day. It's about doing the small, right things every day. It's the same with wealth. If you want to get rich, you have to be consistent with your efforts, whether it's saving money, investing it, or building a business. Success is about keeping the momentum going, day after day. And that's the power of discipline. Discipline is the ability to keep going when your motivation fades, when the excitement is gone. When the world around you is throwing challenges your way, discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to the plan, regardless of how you feel, regardless of external circumstances. And, you see, motivation is an emotional state, comes and goes. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, ready to conquer everything. But other days, you'll feel drained. You'll feel exhausted. You'll feel like you're not making any progress. But that's when your discipline kicks in. Discipline is what carries you through the hard times. Discipline is what makes you a true success, because consistency without discipline is like a car without an engine. It won't move. And here's the thing. When you stay consistent, you start to build momentum. You start to feel the changes happening. Every small victory, every step forward, every day you keep going brings you closer to your dream life. The key is to not get discouraged when you don't see results right away. Keep moving, keep putting in the work, and over time, you'll see the progress. But it all starts with consistency. When I look back on my journey, the moments I remember the most aren't the big breakthroughs. They're the quiet, mundane days when I kept going, even when it seemed like nothing was happening. It was those days that made all the difference. It was the small, consistent actions that added up to create the life I have now. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up every day. No matter what, it's about doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to the plan, even when the results aren't visible yet. And eventually, with enough consistency, that plan will unfold into the life you've dreamed of. So, if you want to live the life you've always dreamed of, you need to be consistent. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for instant results. Understand that success is a process, not a destination. It's a journey that requires dedication, effort, and above all, consistency. If you can commit to showing up every single day, no matter how you feel, then you're already on the path to achieving your dream life. Now, it's time to ask yourself, are you willing to put in that work? Are you willing to show up, even on the tough days? Are you ready to commit to the consistency that will transform your life? If the answer is yes, then there's nothing stopping you from achieving everything you've ever wanted. Now that you understand the importance of having a plan, and the power of consistency, let's address something equally crucial on your journey to success. Failure. I know. Failure isn't a word that anyone likes to hear, especially when you're working so hard to achieve your goals. But here's the truth. Failure is inevitable. No matter how well you plan, no matter how consistently you work, you will face setbacks. You will fail at times, and that's okay. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle failure. You have two choices. You can let failure stop you, or you can use it as fuel to keep going. The greatest success stories in history were not written by people who never failed. They were written by people who, when they failed, refused to stay down. They chose to rise, learn from their mistakes, and come back stronger. You have to understand something deep within yourself. Failure is not the end. It's not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's just part of the process. When I started out, I faced countless failures. I lost opportunities, made mistakes, and encountered roadblocks that felt like they were impossible to overcome. But I nivellate those failures define me. Every failure was an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow. In fact, the more I failed, the stronger I became. Each failure taught me something valuable. It taught me what not to do, how to pivot, and how to improve. Failure is your teacher, your guide, but only if you choose to see it that way. If you allow failure to break you, you'll never get anywhere. But if you embrace it, if you learn from it, then failure becomes your greatest asset. Think of the most successful people you know. I guarantee they failed more times than you can count. What sets them apart is their resilience, the ability to bounce back after a setback, to keep moving forward no matter how many times they fall. That's what you need to build within yourself. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's a skill you develop through experience, through the way you respond to adversity. When things don't go your way, when life throws you a curveball, you have two choices. You can stay down or you can get back up. Resilience is about choosing to get back up every single time. It's about getting stronger with each setback and using each failure as a stepping stone towards your goals. When I failed, I didn't waste time feeling sorry for myself. I didn't drown in self-pity. I focused on what I could learn from the experience. I asked myself, what went wrong? What can I do better next time? What adjustments do I need to make to stay on track? Failure isn't something to be feared. It's something to be analyzed and used as a tool for growth. It's part of the process of becoming the person you need to be to achieve your dream life. But resilience isn't just about bouncing back after failure. It's also about managing the mental and emotional toll that failure can take. It's about staying calm and focused when things aren't going according to plan. The road to success is never a smooth one. There will be moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. When you question yourself, when doubt creeps in, that's normal. Everyone feels that way at times. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is the ability to push through those moments of doubt and uncertainty. Resilience is about maintaining belief in yourself, even when others doubt you, and even when you doubt yourself. You have to keep going, even when the road seems impossible. Because if you give up after every failure, you'll never get to where you want to be. The best part? Resilience gets stronger with practice. The more you face challenges, the more you overcome them, the more resilient you become. You begin to develop an unshakable belief in yourself, your vision, and your ability to make it through whatever comes your way. And this resilience, this unbreakable spirit, is what will carry you through the toughest of times. Think about it. No one who ever achieved greatness did so without facing adversity. It's the very challenges and setbacks that make success all the more rewarding. When you finally reach the place you've worked so hard to get to, when you look back on all the obstacles you overcame, you'll realize that those moments of failure were just as important as your victories. You can't have success without failure. It's a part of the journey, and it's a part of who you become on that journey. But the key is to never let failure define you. Instead, let it refine you. Let it shape you into the person who's ready for the success that's waiting on the other side. So, when you fail, and you will remember this, it's not the failure that matters, but how you respond to it. Will you let it break you, or will you rise and keep moving forward? Success belongs to those who choose to rise again, who embrace failure as part of the process, lazy, non-V8, and who continue on their journey with resilience in their hearts. Every failure you experience is just another lesson, another opportunity for growth. Learn from it, adapt, and use it to fuel your journey. The road to success is long, but with each step, you're getting closer. Every failure you conquer brings you one step closer to your dream life. Embrace failure, build your resilience, and keep going. Your success is waiting, and it's just beyond the next challenge you face. At this point in your journey, we've talked about having a plan, staying consistent, and bouncing back from failure. But there's one final piece to the puzzle: your mindset. Your mindset is everything. It is the foundation upon which all of your actions, decisions, and results are built. If your mindset isn't in the right place, no matter how hard you work, no matter how well you plan, or how disciplined you are, you'll never fully unlock your potential. The truth is, the biggest obstacle standing between you and your dream life is often not external factors, it's your own mind. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and the stories you tell yourself will either propel you forward or hold you back. It's time to master your mindset. Let me ask you a question. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as capable of achieving greatness? Or do you doubt your abilities, feel like you're not good enough, or tell yourself that success is reserved for other people, not you? The way you perceive yourself will determine the way you act, the risks you take, and the opportunities you seize. At this point, we've covered the importance of having a clear plan, staying consistent, building resilience, and mastering your mindset. But none of that matters if you don't take massive action. It's easy to dream big, to talk about your goals, and to create a beautiful vision of your future. But if you don't take the steps needed to bring that vision to life, then all you're doing is daydreaming. Success requires action. But not just any action, massive action. It's not enough to just show up. You have to show up with intention. You have to take bold, purposeful steps that push you outside your comfort zone. Every single day, you need to move closer to your goals, regardless of the obstacles that arise. If you're not taking massive action, then you're just waiting for success to find you. And that's not how it works. Let me tell you something. The world is full of dreamers, planners, and thinkers. But it's the action takers who stand out. The people who refuse to wait for the perfect moment. The people who take risks, who put in the work, and who push forward even when they're scared, uncertain, or tired. Those are the people who achieve their dreams. And those are the people who live their dream life. When I started, there was nothing to show for my dreams. No wealth, no connections, no fame. But I took massive action every single day. I didn't wait for things to be just right. I didn't sit back and wait for the perfect opportunity. I created opportunities. I sought them out. I made things happen. I took risks. I failed. And I kept going. That's what separates the people who make it from those who don't. Here's the hard truth. Action is uncomfortable. It's easy to sit back and think about your goals. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve. But when it comes time to act, that's when the fear kicks in. That's when the doubts come flooding in. And you start questioning whether you're good enough, whether it's worth it, whether you should just give up and play it safe. But here's the secret. Action is the antidote to fear. The more you take action, the less room there is for fear to control you. It's when you sit back and overthink that fear gets its power. When you're moving forward, even when it's scary, fear has no choice but to step aside. Every time you take massive action, you're proving to yourself that you're serious about your goals. You're proving that you're willing to put in the work. Even when it's hard, you're proving that you're not waiting for someone else to give you permission to succeed. You are taking control of your own destiny. And let me tell you something. The results of massive action are powerful. The more you push yourself, the more you grow. Every action, every decision, and every risk you take compounds into progress. It's the small, consistent actions over time that build momentum. But none of that momentum happens if you don't take the first step. The first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, the next step becomes easier, and the step after that becomes even easier. Before you know it, you've built a system of action, and it's carrying you toward your goals. And every step you take moves you closer to your dream life. Massive action also means being willing to adapt and adjust as you go. You will encounter obstacles. You will make mistakes. Things won't always go as planned. But that's part of the process. What matters is how you respond to those challenges. Will you quit, or will you adjust your course and keep moving forward? I've faced setbacks in my journal, lots of them. There were moments when everything seemed like it was falling apart. But I didn't let that stop me. I didn't give up. I kept taking action, even when the road was tough. I kept refining my plan, adjusting my strategies, and staying focused on the end goal. And in the end, all of that action paid off. You need to embrace the discomfort of taking action. 8. Confortable being inconfortable. If you're always staying in your comfort zone, you're never going to grow. You'll never reach your full potential. The path to your dream life is paved with discomfort, risk, and action. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to be willing to go through that discomfort. Massive action means moving in the face of fear. It means making decisions when you don't have all the answers. And it means trusting the process even when it seems uncertain. And that's exactly what I did. I kept making moves, learning, failing, adjusting, and improving every single day. I never let myself get stuck in hesitation or fear. I kept moving forward, knowing that every step I took would bring me closer to my dream life.